some coffee with me? Oh, won't you? Don't you see that we like honey in our coffee? Yeah. A little sweet, a little sour. Like it hits the milk and the milk goes blue. Blue. I got this cup and can more from a lovely record shop of all places. It's a music store that sold furniture. Okay. Wolfing. Wake up laughter fun. Now gratitude. It's a gratitude practice. Wake up laughing. Not so easy. Especially when you wake up and you got all kinds of old running tapes going on in there. Hi, Mike. Glad you're here. I can see who's here, but I can't see any comments. They show up later. So I have no idea if you're saying anything. For some reason, it doesn't share with me until later. So I'll catch you on the rebound. So, wolfing. Wolfing is a gratitude practice. Wolfing is an acronym. Wake up laughter fun and now gratitude. So, how is that possible? Well, we have brain states. I'm sure you've heard of it. During our waking time, we're in beta. And then we go through, when we go to sleep, we want to get to theta. The theta's way over here. This is lucid dreaming space. And to get to theta, we go through delta and alpha from our waking beta. So, how is it when we come out of the veil, I call it? You're dreaming, you're sleeping, you know you're sleeping. You're starting to what is it that's bringing you back online? It's our nervous system. And we have this beautiful hormone called cortisol. Cortisol isn't as, it's got a bad rap. Because it's the stress hormone. But it has a very specific job. And that is to wake us up and to get us the hell away from a problem. Also related to adrenaline. Okay, so that's that sympathetic system. Sympathetic, parasympathetic, sympathetic, fight or flight. Adrenaline, pumped. I'm out of here, right? And all what happens is that the blood all in here and all the energy here, majority of it goes out into the muscles so we can get away. A sympathetic. Parasympathetic is rest, digest. I'm safe. Sometimes when we wake up, we go straight into the sympathetic system, straight into adrenaline. Maybe we've had a bad dream, or we have anxiety from something, or those old tapes start playing. You're not good enough. You're ugly. You're fat. You're stupid. Oh, I got to connect with this person. These problems are coming around, and you haven't even fully awakened yet, and these tapes are playing. Where are they coming from? Well, it's a biofeedback. It's just, like I said, they're old tapes. It's like when the grooves of a record, I'm sure most of you here know what a record is. You put that needle in the groove and it plays, right? So in the brain, we have neural pathways that are just fine-tuned to be critical because we've exercised that. That nerve has a massive amount of power that's been given because once upon a time, it served. Okay? You might have heard, let go of what no longer serves you. Whatever serves you gives to you. Your brain and your body align with that serve. And then we have to get rid of it when we realize that those old tapes, that old groove in the record, It doesn't work anymore. It already did. And instead of running away from it or not looking at it anymore or not appreciating how it once served you, before you get rid of anything, love it. Love your dark thoughts, as Ram Dass said. Love your process. Love and gratitude, even when it hurts. When pain arises, emotional pain, it's been stored in the body somewhere. And laughter can actually bring those things up. Sometimes for people who are new to laughter, it's uncomfortable. They feel dumb, they feel stupid, they feel ridiculous, they don't feel worthy of their own conjuring of joy. There's something in there blocking it. It's resistive, it's resistant, it's stifled. So when we wake up in the morning and we go through these brain states of awareness, what I call coming online, right? We get online, our circuitries are working, trying to figure out where and who and when and how. And we don't even have to think about all that. For some reason, we're just overloaded with thoughts that don't serve. How are they serving, though? How are they serving? Let's put a reframe around that. Running away from our problems doesn't get rid of the problem. We have to look at what's underneath it. Okay, so a lot like the brain states, when we come into our alpha waking state, we can remember a dream, or the body is in a sensation of pain, or something's uncomfortable, or something comes into our environment that triggers a thought, or a thought comes in and triggers a behavior and a habit. Okay, so when we want to reframe that and break that record, or put a root in that groove and change those things, we have to see what's underneath that emotion that's coming in. We have to see that we're still safe, okay? This is how tapping is helpful, because it brings us into the present moment. And gratitude puts us there too. When we have gratitude for the pain, for the problem, when we have gratitude for, let me be the witness and step back from that issue that's coming in. Where is it coming from? Do I feel it in my body? You can do yoga nidra and just, align and find energies in your body. And if there's pain associated in that space there, you can step back and see yourself as a witness of what you're experiencing in that moment. What are you noticing? What's coming up? So these are ways that you can let go of things that no longer serve you. And that's gratitude for the once servitude that it gave you, to get you to where you want to go, to get you where you are now. Okay, gratitude loves being in the present moment, and that's what laughter can do. That's what wolfing can do. Wolfing is hard to do, but it reframes your cognitive in and output. Okay, when you're coming online, going through that alpha, and you're gonna get to beta. Okay, that's our functioning brain. Before we get there, or delta, alpha, there's a very tiny window. That's the veil, coming through the veil. Right in here, you begin to notice all your sensories come online. You hear things. Maybe it's a dog or a truck. You smell something. Maybe somebody's making breakfast. You taste your mouth. Feel how thick your tongue is. Feel the different parts of your mouth. The space between your teeth, even. You're in this area, so those parts can be very definitive. So you're hearing, you're smelling, you're tasting, and you're feeling. Feeling and hearing, I think, are the two that come online first when you start to wake up. You feel your blanket, your pillow. You feel your body laying on the mattress. Maybe you're in a position, or your leg's asleep, or you have to pee, or, there's sensations in your body that are coming back to your awareness as you come out of that veil. What would happen when you begin to notice you're that witness? all those thoughts that come in before you get out of bed. Maybe it's a reflection of the past. Maybe it's a projection into the future. And all the while, you're still coming online. You're feeling. Nobody put those thoughts in your head. No, nobody did that. It's just that. This is a record player. This is the needle, and here's the record. That record is playing all the time. Even in your beta state, it's playing all the time. It's a very strong neurological connection. And you get into a loop. You get into a feedback loop. So how can you rewrite this story? How can you hijack this record? How can you get that out of the way? Well, you have to do the dial. You have to press the buttons. Remember buttons? You have to press the button, and you have to manually remove the needle that's irritating this whole system over here. By removing that, this is the ho ho ha 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 he 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 he. That little veil right there, there's a choice. As you start to become more cognizant of what's going on, and you witness your presence and you're noticing, that's the space. Smile. Even if there's nothing to smile about, give yourself a reason to smile. Try it in the morning. When you smile, your parasympathetic comes online. Okay? This right here tingles the ends of this vagal nerve that lives back here. Okay? Look how close it is to all your sensory organs right up here in your face. Okay? When you smile, it says, hey, I'm safe. And all the vagal nerve attaches to all the organs. And it says, hey, everybody, thanks for being online. Thanks for doing your job that I don't have to think about. The body, I just am so honored and grateful that you all's working together. And I'm going to smile about that. I'm just going to smile. Even if it's kind of fake. You can put your It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you do body affirmations. Okay, it says, I'm all right, Jack. And you lay back on your pillow. Breathe. You might feel pain. What are you worried? You know, you're worried about what the doctor said. You're worried about mom falling apart. Mine's falling apart right now. She fell down. And even though those things are still real in your world, they're still happening. Okay, I get to notice that. I get to notice the smile on my face. Make some funny noises, because that's one of the last things that come online is the voice making sound. But you can do that when you yawn. So that's another wolfing technique. Body affirmations, smiling, yawning. Okay, so it stretches out these vagal response receptors, and your body shakes. Your voice makes weird sounds. You hold your breath. You take in big breaths, and you hold your breath. And you can step back and be that witness again and see how ridiculous the sounds are when you yawn. That long, beautiful yawn, and when you exhale, you make a lot of noise. And, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break and not caring about what anybody else is going to be affected by your long yawn, okay? And be noisy about it. Be silly about it. Because when that happens, the feedback goes into the ears, and you're going to have a judgment. You're going to judge yourself. And instead of saying that this is so dumb and stupid, and you can say those things if you like, if it serves you, but just notice that when you allow yourself, when you give yourself permission and allow yourself to be silly and noisy, something goes away. Something changes. And I don't know exactly what it is, or what it's called, but there's something about the way that you're going to respond to yourself. Now, you can respond as in, I didn't get anything out of that, and just notice it. Or you can respond to, wow, that yawn made me make more spit in my mouth. You can notice the physical changes. You can also notice, wow, this feels kind of liberating. It feels liberating, and it feels good to yawn and just be, see, even thinking of it, I wonder if just yawning makes you yawn too. What is it that feels so good? Well, those other happy hormones. It's all about this. Okay, it comes down to hormones completely. But maybe a yawn triggers those happy hormones to be released. Maybe yawns create endorphins. We need to study this more. So wolfing comes with techniques, and its base structure is gratitude. It's just gratitude. Gratitude for those little things that support you through the night. Maybe gratitude for the harder things that you deal with throughout the day. What I found, and I've been wolfing for a few years now, what I found is that wolfing helps me see miracles throughout the day. Wolfing helps me see the glimmers, silver linings, nature more. Wolfing helps me see brighter colors. Wolfing helps me be in a sense of peace within conflict. It makes space. Laughter makes space. Because, okay, what happens if you stifle a laugh? Sometimes it doesn't feel good. Like you're verklempt, right? You're holding energy that wants to express itself, and you're holding it because there's a time and place. Of course, laughter can be rude. It can be misunderstood. It can be a way, if you're anxious and you laugh when you're anxious, when you're trying to talk to somebody and you just, something surprised you and you giggle. There's a tool, there's a mechanism, there's the medicine of laughter is true. It's true. So wolfing also gives you permission to be your authentic self. I did a laughter class with entrepreneurs, and as business people do when you're starting, not even just starting it, but when you have your own companies, people's clients, things, items, it's very stressful. But how would laughter help an entrepreneur? It helps because you become more authentic. For example, if you go and you buy a car, you have the car salesman there, and he's laughing, he or she, or they're laughing, and you can tell that it's not real. It's a fake laughter. It's forced. It feels more like trickery. Okay? What if that person laughed more honestly? Or there's a pitch that we can pick up on, that this laugh is authentic. It's real. It's coming from the heart. This laugh is fake. It's a lie. It's not true. They want something. There's a mask, right? I'm being fooled. Okay? So laughter does that. It's power. And so when you are building your business, you want people to trust you, and you have a laughter practice, you can take a laugh and become more of an authentic person. You have a developed authentic laugh. People will trust you more because you're being authentic. So there's tools and magic that happens when you laugh more. Laughing for no reason is hard to do, but there's 3 easy ways to do it to get started. Exhale with a ha and do it repetitively. Ha 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 ha, and then laugh at what you just did. It's that window when you wake up, when you're in the veil, you're systems coming online. You can fake it till you make it. It just takes practice. Exhale with a ha. Repeat that and then laugh at yourself. Laugh at what you just did. There's an interesting code switch. I can feel it in my brain when I do something just for the thing, and then when I do something for the response of it. That's the noticing. That's being the witness of your happening. You're in gratitude in the present moment. Gratitude can live in many, many places, but it's the strongest in the now place. So I hope that this message comes clear, and I challenge you to try to laugh as soon as possible. There's other techniques, but I won't go into them today. Now, I want to do a breathing exercise called box breathing. Imagine a square envelope, and you imagine the side where you have the flap. And when you take that flap, the point of that flap goes right into the center of the square. So imagine a square, and imagine you're right there in the middle. And so if this was the middle of the box, you're going to take your eye and follow the line of the fold to the corner of the square envelope and back down to center. And then go up to the opposite corner and back to center. Now you're going to look down at the other corner and back to center. And then you look down to the other corner. Try not to move your head. And then back to center. Now we're going to move straight across to the edge of the envelope. Back to center. Straight across. Back to center. Straight up. Back to center. And down. Back to center. Now we're going to make a big circle all the way around the envelope. Your circle is all around the envelope. Back to center. Look at the tip of your nose. Tip of your nose. Tip of your nose. And blink. Look at me. Okay. So imagine a box. An envelope square. You're at the center. Pick a direction. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold your breath to the count of 4. Exhale, count of 4. And hold your breath for the count of 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue. Last one. And I'm going to let that go. Back to center. Looking at the nose. Up to the top. Now straight down to the chin. Back to the nose. Keep laughing. Goodbye.